Good morning, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Asian Vision Dialogue. Today, the topic of our discussion will be focusing on the new policies and ways forward of the Cambodian new government for the 7th legislature of the National Assembly. And we are honored and pleased to be joined by Dr. CHHENG Kimlong, Executive Vice President of the Asian Vision Institute, AVI. So without further delay, I would like to welcome Doctor to our program. Greeting, Doctor.
Yes, good morning.
Yes. Dr. Kimlong, with regard to the current situation that the Parliament has just endorsed Excellency Manet as the new Prime Minister of Cambodia, we would like to discuss with you with regard to the new policies and some kinds of initiative that the government has introduced. So first of all, could you kindly provide us with an overview of any new policy change or initiative that the new government introduced since taking office?
Well,
yes.
This is the very first week that the government has just been established.
Yes.
In the new legislature, we call the 7th legislature after last month's election of members of parliaments. And as you know, it is just 3 days after, in fact, the government has been officially formed. And yesterday, the new Prime Minister, His Excellency Manet, officially Kitti, Tesaphibal, Pundit, Manet, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia for this mandate, he has convened for the first time the plenary session of his at the office of the Council of Ministers yesterday, and he announced the new national policy agenda guided by what is called the first phase or phase 1 of the Pentagon strategy. In the previous mandate, which is the previous government, the government was implementing the rectangular strategy. So there are 4 phases, and it focuses on economic growth, employment, which is employment generation for Cambodian populace. And the third is on efficiency and on equity. But for the new legislature or the new mandate of the government under the leadership of the new Prime Minister, it focuses on sustainability. On the general priority areas, there has been an addition to the 4 elements under the rectangular strategy. So under this Pentagon strategy, the focus is on technology and innovation. If we look at all of these additional initiative or program or strategy, we might call, the new government aim to promote sustainable development, sustainable economic growth, poverty reduction by promoting the 5 mottos I just alluded a moment ago through the adoption of technology and innovation that facilitate the economic growth, the economic development for the people while benefiting from peace, stability that we have achieved since at the end of 1998.
All right. Thank you, Doctor, for your kind clarification with regard to the new policies. So if we look at the economic sector, so do you have any perspective on like the Cambodian government plan for promoting diversification in this regard?
There will be micro policy and macro policy. On the macro level, the government will continue to enforce we call it policy implementation. For the macro policy, the government emphasizes the financial policy and also monetary policy in order to maintain macroeconomic stability and also to promote the economic attractiveness of Cambodia, while maintaining and promoting many industrial sectors of the country. So if you look at that the overall policy, we look at the promotion of small and medium enterprises, the promotion of informal economy. So under the new mandate, the government will look at how to provide further support, how to facilitate the growth and development of the small, medium enterprises, including the micro enterprises, of the industrial sector as a whole, in many areas, including the industry, including service, agriculture, agro-processing sectors, tourism sectors, the real estate and the construction. And we look at the new investment law as well that was adopted in 2021. And then with the adoption of the sub-decree on implementing the investment law, that investment law and the sub-decree has been the guiding factors in the development of the Pentagon strategy that further diversify the Cambodian economy through the promotion of bilateral trade agreements and multilateral trade agreements, as we have seen so far, the adoption and coming into force the regional comprehensive economic partnership on one hand, and the adoption of bilateral trade agreements with China, with Korea, and recently other free trade arrangements with the UAE, United Arab Emirates, and many other countries are in the pipeline. The government has also prioritized the development of the agro-processing sector based on the based on the potential of the agricultural sector in Cambodia as a whole. We can see early this year, Prime Minister Hun Sen, in the previous mandate, agreed to promote a rice and fish corridor with the Republic of China, because China is a big market. I think for the new mandate, the government of this new mandate will continue to build on those existing agreements, cooperation frameworks, to not only diversify our partners, but also diversify the export markets. In addition, the diversification of the products and services in the country through improving good governance in the way of economic policy formulation, in the area of the implementation of those policies, and also aiming to make this new mandate a clean government, a digital government, a responsible government that respond to the need of the people, of youth, of women, of the private sector, and also to promote the economic foundation of the Kingdom of Cambodia, as you know, to make this country a more attractive, a more competitive economy, linking the regional economy and the economy in Pacific region as a whole. For instance, the government will continue to prioritize the construction of roads, railways, air connectivities. So part of those priority we call human resource development or human capital development, road, railway, logistic, transport networks and systems in one package to promote connectivity across the country. The third is about water resource management, water security issue, which is a key area to provide the water resource for daily consumption by the people, for industrial usage, because amidst the challenges by climate change, for instance, or rising temperature worldwide, and also the threat of the other natural disasters caused by the climate change. So the government will need to prioritize the development of water infrastructures to provide clean water supply to the people, and at the same time to manage water resources. So this is the third priority area. The fourth is about electricity. Electricity is very important because electricity is part of the economic input in the production of all economic activities. So the fourth area will be very important. I think the government in the new mandate will need to expedite the construction, also to ensure the energy sector security or energy security, while promoting clean and renewable resources toward the carbon neutral target that the Ministry of Environment has set forth its policy agenda and guided by the national strategic development strategy of the government. And also I think in the new government we call that in the new mandate, the Pentagon strategy provide the overall and overarching objectives for the government to achieve within the period of 5 years. I think the last, which is the new area the government will will endorse, is the sustainability. Sustainability is very important, as I alluded to point number 2, the water and to energy.
Yes.
This respond to the global emerging and re-emerging challenges faced humanity worldwide. The promotion of sustainable development, the promotion of sustainable management of natural resources, while promoting the adaptation to climate change will be a priority for the Kingdom of Cambodia. For 2 reasons. One thing, in order to maintain and in order to ensure sustainable economic growth and development, we have to ensure sustainable natural resources, natural ecosystems. And while promoting or ensuring the resilience of many factors, including human resource, natural resource, financial sector, and all the other economic fundamentals in the country. Second, it's because in order to be able to promote Cambodian products to outside markets that require environmental standards, we need to meet those standards, which mean, for example, through the use of environmental friendly or clean practices in the production of natural resources, and also in the area of labor and human rights and social rights, for instance, will be key to maintain and promote Cambodia's economic competitiveness and attractiveness to the world.
All right. Thank you, Doctor, for a very comprehensive answer. That's very insightful. After hearing from you with regard to the priorities of the government in terms of development in the country, so we're looking at the regional context, especially in the coming weeks there will be an ASEAN summit as well, that His Excellency Kitti Tesaphibal Pundit Manet will be joining as the first time for representing the leader of the country. So, do you have any perspective on the Cambodia government in terms of like what are the priority for Cambodia within the ASEAN's roles? Yes.
Cambodia continue to play a leading role in this since Cambodia's admission to ASEAN in 1999, and by the time we just achieved total peace back then, and then Cambodia has played very important role in securing peace, maintain peace and stability not only for Cambodia but for ASEAN, for the Mekong as a whole. So for way forwards for Cambodia to maintain this strategic important role as one of the key members of ASEAN, Cambodia will continue to promote its soft power in this regard. We call it the Women, Peace, Security Agenda of ASEAN, while promoting or enhancing the ASEAN principles based on what we call it ASEAN centrality and ASEAN unity. So Cambodia will play this active role on one part. On the second part is how to integrate ourselves fully to the region economically, not only on political cooperation, but economically, socially, and culturally, allowing Cambodian people to be able to interact culturally, commercially, economically. So way forward for the next government is to promote the regional connectivity agenda of ASEAN with the support of bilateral development partners or multilateral development partners across the world. So Cambodia will need more support to promote Cambodia's plan to build infrastructures, road, railway to connect to, for example, Vietnam, Laos, Thailand, and through all of these countries, through China, through other member states in ASEAN. Because the connectivity is key not only to promote economic and commercial activities, but one more thing is to promote people-to-people connectivity, which is also one of the top priorities for the previous government and for the government in this new legislature.
All right. Yes, thank you, Doctor. So now we come to the last question. So are there any plans for international collaboration and partnership? And how does the government envision its role on the global stage with this initiative?
There are several pathways for which the government can continue its journey. For one thing is the UN framework. The government will continue to promote its engagement with the UN, United Nations. We have seen already until this year, since 2006, when Cambodia started to provide back to the international community by sending almost 9,000 the peacekeeping operations forces from Cambodia. They are Cambodian, including women. So that's why the women peace security agenda of ASEAN, and also to align that to support the work of the United Nations will also be key. But on the economic cooperation and partnership, I think the Cambodian government will enforce its economic diplomacy and cultural diplomacy at a wider scope in this regard through Cambodia's embassies, the embassy of Cambodia or consulate office, or through our representative in many parts of the world. We need to promote more partnerships in this regard, because by promoting economic commercial partnerships, it will allow the Cambodian private sector, Cambodian industry and the service sector to prosper. At the same time, the agriculture, tourism sector will also be prospering as a result of the growing demands of external markets, or we call the markets to which Cambodian products are exported. The second important is about making Cambodia known to the world by branding Cambodia as a safe place, as a country that value, uphold the rule of law. Rule of law, not only the Cambodian law, but also the international law. Cambodia has been steadfast in maintaining and promoting the rule of law in this regard. Another partnership is on human security, peace, cooperation. So cooperation in promoting peace, in promoting human security through collaboration in the fight of human trafficking, drug trafficking, for instance, or transnational crime. By doing so, Cambodia will remain as a very peaceful country. So we can claim an island of peace for a very long period of time, because peace, stability will be the foundation and will continue to be the foundation for national development, which is the development of our economy, to reduce poverty at the maximum level, to promote inclusiveness, to provide further justice for the people, and to provide economic opportunity for the Cambodian people.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Kimlong, for your insightful response. So I think due to time constraint, we have covered almost everything for the topic today. So once again, thank you very much, Doctor, for your valuable times and contribution to our program today.
Thank you.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, our Asian Vision Dialogue has now come to an end. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time.